I've always appreciated iconic cars. Even as a young boy, I started identifying them, coming home to draw pictures of them, play with matchbox cars. Actually, there was a time when I wanted to become a car designer. It is a very, very hard thing to become, especially when you're in Thailand. I'm actually not a real collector because collectors usually have not only pristine, well-maintained, cars that are hardly ever used. All the cars that I use. The ones I have are not particularly valuable in the world market. It's always been about my interest in cars from the era, from the 60s and the 70s, because that was when I was growing up. And I find these cars in really, really bad condition and rebuild them from ground up. And that's part of the fun. And it's all because of the fun. It's not because of the value on the market. It's not about how much they're worth, how much can I get for them. Because whatever I have, I intend to keep for as long as I can, of course. Classic cars have been very hard to find recently because the import laws in Thailand prohibits you from importing any old cars into the country. And so whatever we find here, whatever is available, whatever hasn't been demolished yet, well, there's a group of us here that are trying to find these cars and then resurrect them because we can't get any more in by law. The Mercedes Pagoda, codenamed the W113, is designed by Paul Brack to be a replacement to two sporty models of Mercedes, which is the 300 SL Roadster and the 190 SL. They try to come up with something that will replace both models at the same time. And for the first time in history of Mercedes, a sporting car, like the SL class, is offered with power steering and automatic transmission. It was unveiled in 1963 and lasted until 1971. This car got its name because of the concave roof that to Europeans, or I guess to the rest of the world, resembles an Asian pagoda. I don't see why they would think that. Maybe a temple roof, but definitely not a pagoda. It's meant for a larger viewing area out of the cockpit. You get plenty of really good vision. And when you take the hard top off, you have an open top Roadster with a soft top that's hidden in its own compartment. And that's really quite a modern design. My Pagoda, in particular, my father bought in the 1960s, and we've had it in the family. It's part of the family. I don't ever think I can let it go. My earliest memory of being in that car, I suppose, are flashes of moments in the car, looking at the transmission, wondering why the P is in the bottom, why the steering wheel is ivory white. It's a part of my life, something that I remember going to school in, something that I remember going to the beach, to our family outings. Other cars have come and gone, and none of them have had the emotional attachment. I've never had the emotional attachment to the others like I do with this one. It is still everyday usable. There's air conditioning, there's power steering, automatic transmission. The ride comfort rivals any modern day car. It's not as fast, but speed, it's not about speed. I don't think, for me. I'm not looking for exotic thrills. I'm not looking to drift my cars. I just enjoy driving it. That's about it. I find that if a car is left unattended to for a long time, something will go wrong. It's like it's almost demanding some kind of attention not the kind of attention that wants to be clean and wiped. It's more like use me, please, and it's not always about driving in the open road or in beautiful countryside roads. It could be, you could be stuck in traffic in Bangkok and enjoy it just as much. I do feel pride and emotion. The pride that I have that my father passed this on to me. It's something that he loved, something that I always cherished, and I want to be able to pass that on to my son in hope that he will feel the same way. Every time I drive the car, I do think of my father. I know that he has such a connection with it. It's his favorite thing, his favorite car. Every time I drive it, I see him. His presence is there. Every time I look at the radio, I look at the little details here and there. They're not original, they're things that he added on. But I kept them all because there are certain things that made this car him, made this car my father, and that's something that I want to carry on. I even told my son that. He calls this car Grandpa's car to this day, and my father's been gone several years, 4 years now. So I do have a connection to it, and I hope that that connection find its way to my son as well one day.